crazy that people have access to information that shows that there's something outside of us that is more intelligent, at least more capable than we are, and they hide it from everybody else.
A recent expedition to the Mariana Trench has uncovered discoveries that could change the course of humanity. Scientists didn't just find microbes with the potential to revolutionize medicine, they also uncovered resources that could shape the future of technology. Now, nations are racing to claim control of the trench, recognizing that what lies at the bottom could determine the next era of power and life itself. Never-ending cycle of life. The Challenger Deep is a deep-sea trench in the Earth's crust that plunges nearly 7 miles into the ocean. To put that in perspective, you could drop Mount Everest into the trench and still have more than a mile of water above it. For decades, it was assumed to be lifeless. It is pitch black, cold, and the pressure is more than 1,000 times what we feel at the surface, enough to crush a human body instantly. That changed between 2020 and 2021, when China's Fangtooth submersible made 13 dives to the bottom. Using robotic arms, the crew vacuumed sediment from the ocean floor and brought it to labs at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Scientists expected mostly dead bacteria. Instead, they discovered a hidden world. The mud contained over 7,000 microbial species, 90% of which were utterly unknown to science. These tiny organisms were thriving in conditions that should have destroyed them. They consumed toxic chemicals, survived immense pressure, and repaired their DNA the moment it was damaged, effectively making themselves nearly indestructible. On the surface, our DNA is constantly under attack from sunlight, pollution, and the simple wear and tear of living. Over time, our cells lose the ability to repair themselves, and that is what we call aging. Down in the trench, life follows a different set of rules. The crushing pressure should tear DNA apart, but the organisms there have evolved supercharged repair systems. Their enzymes work like elite construction crews, fixing genetic damage instantly and perfectly. Pharmaceutical and biotech companies are watching closely. If these enzymes can be adapted for humans, the implications are staggering. Preventing cancer before it starts, slowing aging dramatically, and extending health in ways previously thought impossible. But it does not stop with medicine. Creatures like the Hadal snailfish survive without swim bladders or gas-filled spaces that would collapse under the pressure. Instead, their bodies are supported by special molecules that keep cells from collapsing. Engineers are studying these adaptations to develop materials for submarines, spacecraft, and drones that are flexible, self-repairing, and nearly crush-proof. This is why the genetic data from these expeditions is so valuable. Releasing those genetic sequences is like handing the world a treasure map. Labs everywhere are racing to replicate these proteins. But that raises a critical question. If one nation unlocks anti-aging technology or supermaterials from international waters, will it share them? History suggests it will not. China is already planning a permanent deep-sea base. The new Cold War is wet and dark. For decades, the United States focused on conservation and transparency, declaring the trench a national monument and sharing maps and data openly using ships like the Okeanos Explorer. On the other side, China has taken a more aggressive industrial approach. They are not just mapping, they are moving in. Reports reveal plans for a deep-sea station, a permanent outpost where crews could live for weeks, conducting research and mining operations. Components are already under development, and humans will not be alone. Swarms of AI-driven robotic gliders will map the seafloor, communicate with each other, and hunt for microbes with unprecedented precision. The microbes are not the only prize drawing superpowers to the trench. Buried alongside them lies a resource with the power to reshape the global economy, a hidden fortune waiting beneath the mud. The battle to the trench. Right beside the biological wonders, the floor of the Mariana Trench is scattered with objects that look like dirty potatoes. These are polymetallic nodules. At first glance, they seem ordinary. But inside lies the foundation of modern technology. They are rich in cobalt, nickel, copper, and manganese, the metals that power electric cars, smartphones, and laptops. On land, sourcing them is difficult, costly, and increasingly limited as mines run dry. Down in the trench, trillions of dollars worth of these nodules rest on the mud, waiting to be collected. The nation that controls these deep-sea resources effectively controls the global battery market. In the 21st century, batteries have become as valuable as oil once was. But the story doesn't end with metals. Buried alongside the nodules is a substance known as fire ice, or methane hydrate. It looks like frozen slush, but it is a super-concentrated fuel. Bring it to the surface and it burns. Global methane hydrate deposits are estimated to contain 1 to 5,000 gigatons of carbon, though extraction remains economically unfeasible and environmentally dangerous. The potential comes with enormous risk. The seafloor is unstable and drilling could trigger massive underwater landslides. Disturb these deposits incorrectly and vast plumes of methane could escape. Methane is 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide, and a sudden release could accelerate climate change almost instantly. It is a climate bomb lying just beneath the mud. Despite the dangers, the machinery is already being built. Giant robotic harvesters, underwater bulldozers, are designed to crawl across the ocean floor, scraping up the nodules and methane to feed the world's tech addiction. Nations are racing to stake their claim. Alliances are shifting, and the stakes have never been higher. Everyone wants a piece of the prize. Even NASA is watching these deep-sea discoveries as closely as the military, but why? The great unknown of the cosmos. The Mariana Trench is the closest thing on Earth to an alien world. While space agencies plan missions to Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus, both buried under miles of ice, researchers know that beneath those frozen crusts lie vast, dark oceans. Sunlight cannot reach these depths. Only pressure, chemical heat, and total darkness exist there. Any life surviving in such an environment must endure the same extremes as the creatures of the trench. Studying these organisms provides scientists with a blueprint for detecting life beyond our planet. The robots being tested in the Pacific today are prototypes for the explorers that may one day navigate Europa's oceans. Focusing only on microbes, however, might blind us to something stranger. For decades, biology has assumed that all life on Earth shares the same DNA and a common ancestry. The trench challenges that assumption. What if a second genesis of life exists there using arsenic or silicon instead of carbon, or operating without DNA as we know it? Some of the gelatinous structures captured by deep-sea rovers may not be animals at all, but entire colonies following a separate evolutionary path. While scientists look to the stars for life, an entirely different biology may have been swimming beneath our feet for billions of years. The trench is alive with sound. It is not silent, but a constant symphony of clicks, whistles, and roars, some of which defy explanation. In 1997, NOAA recorded the bloop, a low-frequency sound so powerful it was detected thousands of miles away. Scientists eventually called it an icequake, yet its strange organic signature sparked intense debate. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron's solo dive to Challenger Deep captured footage of amphipods and sea cucumbers thriving at the deepest point. More recently, remotely operated vehicles have documented bioluminescent jellyfish and squid using their light to communicate and hunt in the darkness. The Dumbo octopus. Scientists recently discovered a rare Dumbo octopus approximately 1,600 meters below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, near an unnamed seamount in the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument. Also called Grimpoteuthis, these small creatures rarely grow longer than 8 inches. There are more than 17 species of Dumbo octopus, and their ear-like fins, which resemble the cartoon elephant's ears, give them an almost otherworldly appearance. These octopuses thrive in extreme depths, plunging to depths of 3,000 to 4,000 meters below the surface. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, along with the Ocean Exploration Trust, released footage showing Dumbo octopuses swimming off the northwestern coast of Hawaii. They are the deepest living octopuses known, often dwelling around 13,000 feet beneath the waves. Different species of Dumbo octopus have been found at depths ranging from 400 to 7,000 meters, making them adaptable to various deep-sea environments. The large fins are not just for show, they help the octopus move and capture food. Measuring 7 to 12 inches, the Dumbo octopus feeds on snails, worms, and other small sea animals. Its generalist hunting style enables it to survive in a food-scarce environment, feeding on tiny crustaceans and other deep-sea organisms. Unlike most octopuses, the Dumbo octopus lacks an ink sac. In the deep ocean, where predators are rare, defensive devices are unnecessary. Instead, this small, graceful creature floats and glides through the darkness, perfectly adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. The mysterious long-nosed chimera. In the latest expedition, a creature both strange and mesmerizing emerged from the depths, the long-nosed chimera, scientifically known as Hariata ralliana. This mysterious fish defies easy explanation, leaving scientists fascinated and puzzled. Its most striking feature is an elongated snout stretching forward like a swordfish's blade. Covered in sensory organs, this unusual nose allows the chimera to detect prey in total darkness. Its mouth, lined with sharp teeth, completes a form that is at once alien and formidable, perfectly adapted to the extreme environment of the deep ocean. The chimera's adaptations go beyond its appearance. Its skin is pale, translucent, and delicate, revealing the intricate network of blood vessels beneath. It can extract oxygen from freezing, low-oxygen waters, demonstrating remarkable resilience. Its evolutionary lineage stretches back millions of years, making it a living fossil and a reminder of the deep ocean's ancient, enduring ecosystems. The chimera is also an expert hunter. Its electroreceptors act like a sixth sense, detecting the faintest electric signals from prey in a world where vision is nearly useless. This ability allows it to track and capture food with precision, navigating a dark, high-pressure realm few other creatures could survive. Life in the trench is slow and deliberate. The long-nosed chimera grows gradually, matures late, and produces only a few offspring over a lifespan that can reach 100 years or more. The trench is also home to other extraordinary creatures, including a worm unlike any other, one that feeds on dead carcasses instead of hunting, perfectly named for its unusual diet. The terrifying zombie worms. In 2002, scientists discovered Ossidax worms alive on the bones of a rotting gray whale nearly 3,000 meters beneath the ocean surface. Since then, researchers have identified 26 species in the World Register of Marine Species. These worms, often called zombie worms, do not directly consume mineralized bone. Instead, they digest the fat and protein trapped inside. Remarkably, they have no mouth or stomach. Acid secreted through their skin dissolves the bone, freeing the nutrients. Symbiotic bacteria living in the worm's roots then consume the fat and protein, supplying the worm with nourishment, though the exact process of nutrient transfer remains a mystery. Ossidax worms are not limited to whale bones. They have been found colonizing fish skeletons and even cow bones discarded from ships. They attach to bones using root-like structures packed with symbiotic bacteria, drilling into the surface to establish a hold. On the opposite side, feathery plumes extend outward to extract oxygen from the seawater, retracting into the body when the worm is disturbed. Only female worms perform the drilling. Microscopic males live inside the females, sometimes in astonishing numbers. One study recorded 111 males in a single female. This arrangement positions eggs and sperm together, ensuring reproduction without the need to search for a mate. The worms release swarms of eggs, increasing the chance that the next generation will find newly fallen bones. Ossidax worms are already long-lived, but recent studies suggest some species may have persisted for far longer than previously thought. Vampire squids. This creature is both small and terrifying, and that's why some researchers call it the vampire squid from hell. It thrives in nearly oxygen-free water, relying on glowing organs and a unique breathing system to survive where few animals can. Unlike other squids and octopuses, it has two long, retractable filaments that make it one of a kind. It is the only member of its ancient family, a living fossil that has endured for millions of years. The vampire squid grows to about 30 centimeters, with a soft, jelly-like body that can appear black or ghostly red depending on the light. Its arms are joined by a cloak-like web, covered with tiny, spiky projections, while its enormous eyes, the largest of any animal, can glow red or blue. Small, ear-like fins flap gently to propel it through the dark, and light-producing organs produce dazzling flashes that confuse predators. When threatened, it can shoot a cloud of glowing mucus, lighting up the surrounding water and slipping away unnoticed. This cephalopod is uniquely adapted to life in extreme conditions. Its blue blood efficiently extracts oxygen, while its light, flexible body allows it to move gracefully through the deep, dark water. Its sensitive eyes and bioluminescent organs detect even the faintest glimmers of light, helping it locate prey and evade danger. When attacked, the vampire squid can turn inside out, exposing its spiny projections and flashing bursts of light to scare off predators. Reproduction is still poorly understood. Vampire squids likely lay a few large eggs at a time, which take a long time to hatch. Unlike many cephalopods, they can spawn repeatedly throughout their lives. Most of what scientists know comes from rare footage captured by deep-sea cameras. They can live up to 8 years and are masters of energy conservation. In danger, they curl into their cloak, flash their glowing arms, and use unpredictable movements to escape. As mysterious and eerie as the vampire squid is, the deep ocean holds other equally strange predators, including the so-called vampire fish, a reminder that the trench is home to a world both alien and dangerous. Sea lampreys. Native to the northern hemisphere, the parasitic sea lamprey has earned its nickname because of its blood-sucking habits. In its original habitats, it lived alongside fish that had evolved defenses against it. But when sea lampreys entered the Great Lakes in the 19th and early 20th centuries, likely through the Erie and Welland canals, they found an environment full of vulnerable fish with no resistance. Sea lampreys have sleek, eel-like bodies without paired fins. Their round, suction-cup mouths are lined with sharp circular rows of teeth and a rasp-like tongue, while 7 gill openings sit behind their eyes. Their color ranges from olive to brown-yellow with black markings on the back and a lighter belly. They can grow up to 120 centimeters long and weigh as much as 2.3 kilograms over a lifespan of 7 years. These creatures are migratory. They move from lakes or seas to rivers to spawn, where females lay eggs in nests built by males in streams with moderate currents. After spawning, the adults die, leaving behind larvae called amocoetes, which burrow in sand or silt and feed on plankton and debris for several years. Once fully developed, the young lampreys migrate to lakes or the sea. As adults, they attach to fish using their suction cup mouths and feed on blood, secreting a fluid that prevents the victim's blood from clotting. After a year of feeding, they return to spawn and die, completing their life cycle. Sea lampreys are highly adaptable, living in both freshwater and saltwater. They adjust the composition of their gill membranes to handle different salinities, switching to more saturated fatty acids in saltwater to maintain cell membrane fluidity. They also manage high urea levels in their blood-based diet, allowing them to thrive in extreme environments. These parasitic hunters are terrifying enough on their own, but the deep ocean holds even stranger, deadlier creatures waiting to be discovered. The sea devil anglerfish of the Mariana Trench. With a glowing lure, beady eyes, and sharp, needle-like teeth, this fish looks like something straight out of a horror movie. People who encounter washed-up specimens are often too intimidated to study them closely. Anglerfish are as strange in their behavior as they are in appearance. Their mating system is unlike anything on land. Females spend their lives hunting in the dark, using the bioluminescent lure on their head to attract prey, while the much smaller males lead a completely different existence. Males lack the glowing lure and the ability to hunt. Instead, they rely on a keen sense of smell to locate a female in the pitch-black depths. Once a male finds a female, he attaches himself to her with his sharp teeth, often remaining there for the rest of his life. In some species, he fuses permanently with the female, losing his eyes and relying entirely on her for sustenance. Their bloodstreams mingle, and he becomes a living appendage. Despite this dependence, the male plays a vital role, providing a constant supply of sperm and ensuring the female can reproduce successfully. A single female can carry multiple males, sometimes up to 6, each serving the same purpose. The pelican eel, also known as the gulper eel or umbrella mouth gulper, the pelican eel is one of the ocean's most unusual and mysterious creatures. It is the only member of its genus and family, instantly recognizable for its enormous mouth, far larger than its slender body. The lower jaw is hinged at the base of the head, creating a comically oversized appearance, and it can stretch wide enough to swallow prey bigger than the eel itself. When hunting, the mouth inflates like a balloon, ready to capture anything that drifts nearby. Most pelican eels grow to about 2.5 feet long, though some reach over 3. They have no pelvic fins or scales, and instead of a swim bladder, they possess a specialized kidney that may help them float. Their muscles are arranged in a V shape, and their bodies are lined with exposed sensory organs, making them highly attuned to the faint movements of the deep-sea environment. The eel's tiny eyes, no larger than grains of rice, cannot see well, but they detect faint light in the darkness. Its long, whip-like tail glows pink and flashes red, possibly to lure prey. The tail can even twist into knots when the eel is caught, adding to its strange, otherworldly appearance. Its black or olive coloration blends seamlessly with the depths, making the eel nearly invisible and allowing it to ambush prey or avoid predators. Pelican eels are active hunters. They scoop up small animals such as crustaceans, squid, and other tiny sea creatures with their massive jaws. When they open wide, they gulp in water along with the prey, then expel the water through their gills, leaving only the meal behind. Little is known about their reproduction. Pelican eels start life as tiny, transparent larvae. Males develop enlarged sensory organs to locate females, while their teeth and jaws shrink. Females remain mostly unchanged. After reproduction, pelican eels likely die, giving their offspring a better chance of survival. While scientists are eager to study this bizarre predator, the next creature on our list inspires a very different kind of fear, one that few would want to encounter up close. The sand striker. This predator, known as the bobbit worm, is one of the ocean's most fearsome ambushers. It can grow up to 10 feet long and spends most of its life buried beneath the seafloor, waiting for anything that strays too close. When prey approaches, its razor-sharp jaws snap shut with lightning speed, easily slicing its target in half. During the day, the worm remains hidden, with only its antennae protruding from the sand to sense movement and detect chemical signals in the water. At night, it becomes bolder, partially emerging from its burrow to strike at passing fish or other creatures. Some scientists suspect the bobbit worm may also use toxins to paralyze prey, allowing it to tackle animals much larger than itself. Even large fish have been observed blasting jets of water at the worm, forcing it to retreat. The bobbit worm's regenerative abilities make it even more formidable. If threatened, it can break into pieces, and each segment can grow into a full worm. In captivity, this adaptability allows it to devour tank mates over long periods, often unnoticed and quietly. Despite its unassuming appearance beneath the sand, the bobbit worm is an efficient and nearly unstoppable predator. Its combination of speed, strength, and resilience makes it one of the deep ocean's most dangerous hunters. Up next, the next creature on our list is even more like a living weapon. Marine hatchetfish. This is a small, deep-sea fish shaped like tiny hatchets, with wide, blade-like bodies and narrow tails that act like handles. Found in tropical, subtropical, and temperate waters across the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, they are perfectly adapted to life in the dark depths. Most species measure between just over an inch and nearly 5 inches long, but their size doesn't limit their survival skills. Marine hatchetfish can produce their own light through photophores, tiny organs that glow in the dark. This bioluminescence allows them to blend with the faint light filtering down from above, a clever camouflage known as counter-illumination that helps them evade predators lurking below. They live between 50 and 1,500 meters beneath the surface, drifting through the deep, shadowy waters. Their silvery, delicate scales shimmer as they move, and some species even have transparent patches that make them nearly invisible. Their large, tube-like eyes are designed to catch the slightest flicker of light, enabling them to spot prey above in near-total darkness. Marine hatchetfish have evolved a distinctive body shape. Their mouths face downward, and their vertical pelvis helps with movement in the water column. Spiny fins and sharp edges give them a striking appearance, especially angular species like sternoptics, which resemble tiny blades from the side. Despite their small size, these fish are perfectly engineered for survival in one of the ocean's harshest environments. And next, we move to a creature whose appearance could send shivers down anyone's spine. Fangtooths. These are some of the most fearsome-looking fish in the deep sea, yet their size is surprisingly small. Their razor-sharp, fang-like teeth dominate their tiny bodies. The largest species, the common fangtooth, reaches only about 6 inches long, while the shorthorn fangtooth is even smaller. Fangtooths inhabit the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, sometimes nearly 16,000 feet below the surface. In this pitch-black world, their enormous teeth allow them to catch prey larger than themselves. Their bodies are covered in thin, dark skin, and their jagged heads with small eyes set high add to their menacing appearance. A remarkable feature of fangtooths is their 2 longest fangs, so large that they fit into special sockets in the skull when the mouth closes. Despite this fearsome look, they pose no threat to humans. At night, they rise closer to the surface to hunt, feeding on smaller fish and squid. Young fangtooths look almost unrecognizable compared to adults. Their eyes are larger, their teeth smaller, and their gray bodies are lighter, as if they belong to a different species entirely. Life in the deep is harsh, but fangtooths are exceptionally resilient. Some have survived in aquariums for months, an unusual feat for deep-sea species. Slow-growing yet skilled hunters, fangtooths have adapted perfectly to one of the most extreme environments on the planet, making them one of the ocean's most impressive predators. Thanks for watching. Now check out the videos popping up on screen for more unbelievable stories.